Welcome to the long-awaited GOAT debate episode of Sports Circuit Podcast. I am your host, Miles.
And I'm Evan.
And our
I'm
moderator...
Truman.
Yeah, okay.
We were going to record earlier, but Miles decided that he didn't want to.
Or I was sick, one of those two. I did have a massive headache the last couple of days.
Walk it off.
Walk it off? I can't walk off a headache.
He played 3 hours of basketball.
Exactly. 3 hours of basketball yesterday and another hour and a half today.
Very nice, very nice.
Stop the cap, Miles.
So, let's get started. So, to go over the basic rules of our little debate here, this is something that was actually Evan's idea a few weeks ago. We were finally able to make it work. Evan, you should have the rules a little more accessible than I do.
Not really, actually.
Okay, I have them. So, the first rule is once a question is asked and once the debate officially starts, you may not research. There are 9 segments of 90-second arguments and a 30-second rebuttal. Moderator can assess technical foul for excessive interrupting, totally targeted at Evan, or off-target arguments. A technical foul is a 30-second penalty for next argument. Each person gets a challenge for an argument that they see unfit. A successful challenge opponent is deemed invalid. Opponent's argument is deemed invalid, and challenger gets an extra 30 seconds for next argument. Failed challenge, call stands. Challenger loses 30 seconds on the next argument. Challenges must be issued after argument or rebuttal is complete. After the 5th segment, okay, that math doesn't exactly add up, but after that 5th segment, there should be a 2-minute timeout to regroup. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started.
Who's going to go first?
So,
I want you to go first.
Okay, I'll go first.
Don't ask questions.
And Truman will ask the questions. Truman, let's get started.
And Truman, you're also going to time. Are you going to time it? Or should that be mere Miles?
Sure, I'll time it.
I'll have a timer up.
Okay.
I'll have a stopwatch. All right. Truman, first question.
So, how long are the segments again? 90 seconds?
90 seconds.
90 seconds for an argument and then 30-second rebuttal.
Okay. All right. So,
let's go.
Welcome to the GOAT debate. All right. So let's say that I'm Jordan. So let's say that he's the GOAT, right? So what would LeBron have to do to overpass Jordan as the GOAT? And
okay.
We'll start with Miles giving 30 seconds or 90 seconds.
Okay, so in order for LeBron James to overpass Michael Jordan in the GOAT debate, he would have to win at least 2 more championships. Because my big argument is that Jordan won more with less. And the fact
less
that...
as in what? Less as in what?
As in less all-star teammates. So, if you look at the players LeBron won with, he has had more chances to win, and yet Jordan... And he's had more star power to win, and yet Jordan has still won more. And I think this team is the perfect team. You have an aging Anthony Davis, and you really don't. And if he's able to bring this Lakers team, which is frankly a disaster, out of the depths of hell in the West, if he's able to beat Denver, Oklahoma City, Dallas, and then beat Boston, Cleveland in the East, that is a pretty big step to him.
For the Hawks?
Or the Hawks, exactly. to him sort of getting rid of the.
Time is up.
So does he get and then I get to have a rebuttal on that?
Yes.
Okay. Has time started?
Yeah.
My response to that is that the winning more with less, I think that's. You could look at the Miami Heat and say that that's true, and I agree with that. But I think LeBron had less on his later Cavalier days than he had with Jordan and his. They both had basically the same amount, I think. About an All-Star team made a great number 3, but LeBron also had harder competition in those Warriors teams.
Okay, next question.
Wait, hold on. Quick question. So, on these, do we want to go like I always get the 90 seconds and he gets the 30 seconds, or do we trade that for question?
No, so I'll go differently.
Okay.
This one is for Evan. Okay, so are LeBron's 4 titles better than MJ's 6? And then you get 90 seconds and go.
I think it depends on which championship. I mean, I think the 2016 championship is the greatest championship of all time because of the comeback and everything like that. But 2012 and 2013, they both needed to happen. I think those hold about the same weight as like Jordan's later 3 championships, like individually. In the 2020 championship, I know everyone likes to say it's a Mickey Mouse ring. Any championship is really hard to win. Every championship means a lot. So again, I think it depends on the championship. 2016 is better than any of Jordan's rings. Then the other 3, I would say, hold the same amount of weight.
What would you also say? About 2011 and like that Mavericks series?
LeBron choked. Nothing more than that. That was probably one of the worst he's played in his career. But I don't want to go out here and say that the 2011 season means more than anything else because it doesn't. Let's not let a season define LeBron's career.
Yeah. All right, Miles?
So I think I agree with you on the fact that 2016 title is not only the better title between Jordan and LeBron, it's the better title of all time. However, when I talk about the year they played San Antonio, and Ray Allen hit that shot from the corner. If he doesn't make that shot, LeBron got, bailed out in that game. LeBron got essentially bailed out in that series because if Ray Allen doesn't make that shot, San Antonio wins the series, and LeBron only has 3 rings. So, I think the 2016 title holds so much weight, but I think Jordan has a couple rings that just carry more weight than 2012 and just a couple of LeBron's earlier titles. But I'm just having, just the 2016 title, again, Jordan doesn't have that in his career. But I do think Jordan has more titles that outweigh LeBron's title, just LeBron has one huge title, if that makes sense.
For the record, I think that was way more than 30 seconds.
Well, what is your starting 5 of greatest players? This is for Evan first.
Okay.
What was the question?
What is your starting 5 of the greatest players of all time?
Well, I'm going to start with the obvious. Jordan and LeBron. Those 2 have to be on there. whether you're fans of them or not. Um, I like Magic at my point guard, Tim Duncan at my power forward, and Shaq at my center.
Great list. All right,
I
Miles.
quite literally don't think I can argue with that. I think there's a number of combinations that you can have. Jordan, LeBron, just go ahead, put them in there. Like, that's obvious, right? I think you can put in a combination of a number of players, and nobody would argue with you, right? Like Evan, nobody's going to argue with that top five, with that starting five.
Who would be your leading scorer on the team?
I think it really depends on how much the players are willing to share the ball and play make, but honestly, I think it would either be Jordan or Shaq. You can't go wrong with either one of those two.
In my starting five, I don't know if I'm allowed to do this or not, but I would have Steph at my point guard instead of Magic, and I'm not arguing. I'm completely fine with having Magic at my point guard, but I would just rather have Steph. So I think on my team, I think Steph would be my leading scorer because Steph is Steph. But I think Steph or Shaq would be the leading scorer on my team.
Fair dues. What do you see as like the main? Do you see stats? This is for Miles. Do you see stats or like championships? Does that influence your GOAT conversation? Stats or championships?
I think both. I think both hold weight in my argument, but I think championships for me way more because I know LeBron's the leading scorer of all time, but I just think when you look at stuff outside of stats, the way Michael Jordan just influenced the game in itself is a little more than what LeBron's done, and I think that goes hand in hand with, LeBron played with Bosh and Wade and Allen and Kyrie and AD, so he's had more players that they have to focus on, and so Jordan had so much of the attention that I don't look at stats as closely as some others do.
Evan?
I think they actually complement each other. I think championships can really be taken out of context sometimes, but stats can put championships into context. They can provide a little bit more light as to how the series went, what it was like. I would agree with Miles that I think championships 100% hold more weight, but it's not that stats aren't important.
Yeah, I mean, I think at some point you have to look at stats, but I don't think they're necessarily like, this player scored more than this player, then that player is better. I don't think that's like what you should look at.
Now, obviously, today is arguably
Get better Wi-Fi, moderator.
Jeez. Also, LeBron James turned 40 years old today.
Damn, Unc.
And he's still playing. He is the oldest player currently playing today. And considering that he's still putting up these crazy numbers, triple doubles some nights, what does that say when like Jordan was was he out of the NBA at 40? I think so. So what does that say? That's for Sugarman first.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's extremely impressive, and no matter who you think the GOAT is, that's extremely impressive. However, we saw this season that I think there is some signs of father time maybe catching up to him a little bit. He had that time when he couldn't buy a three. There was a time when he couldn't, but he was struggling to score. So I think we're finding that, uh, LeBron has had some moments in season number 40 that he is struggling to get to score. And the Lakers, LeBron early in his career takes a team like the Lakers, like the 2024 Lakers, and somehow makes them a 4 seed. But you're just not seeing him do that kind of stuff anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not taking away from what he's doing this year, but it's not as impressive of the stuff that we saw from LeBron in the past. Evan, take it away.
I agree that we are seeing some signs of him slowing down. I mean, he is pushing like 80 years old at this point. But I think his older seasons do put his career in a little bit more context. If you look at just his Lakers career, just his recent career, then it's not as impressive as his moments with the Heat, moments with the Cavs. But yeah, him doing this at this age is extremely impressive, and I don't want to take away from him.
Yeah, fair point. Let's go back to his first stint in Cleveland, right? He took a team that had 0 All-Stars to the NBA Finals. And Jordan had Scottie Pippen by his side. He was an All-Star, and in LeBron's first stint, he had Mo Williams, and that's it, right? What does that say about LeBron's, his, just taking over the game and like being that just ultimate scorer, and taking that team to the finals? I'll get that to Evan first.
His first stint with the Cavaliers, I think for me it's always justified the decision in 2010. He had that team for 7 years. They didn't do much. But I think like some have said, when he entered the Cavaliers, when he entered his career, he was looking to be more of a playmaking type player. Like he was compared to Magic Johnson, more of a playmaker than a scorer. But I think when he realized that he didn't have the help that he thought he was going to have, he needed to step up and be that lead player. And I think that's where the greatness all started. Like he had Mo Williams, and Zydrunas Ilgauskas was a solid center in his career. But I think compared to the other teams he's played with and the teams that Jordan has played with, it doesn't even compare. They were a 60-win team one year, probably one of the worst 60-win teams ever, but the fact that LeBron even took them there is just a testament to his greatness.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's what I was just talking about with his age, right? Like that, taking that team to the finals is a whole accomplishment. But that's not something LeBron can do today. I'm not going to compare those Cavs exactly to this year's Lakers, but I see similarities, right? Not a lot of star power. You have an aging Anthony Davis, so a solid center, but definitely not what he's had. And the team is struggling. LeBron, in his early years, takes this team and they go far. Just because they have LeBron James. So, I think that, in a way, makes that more impressive. However, I just don't think LeBron is going to do that again. And I think that was, of course, a one-off thing. So, yeah. What's the next question, moderator?
what do you, for Evan, what do you think about, like impact, you know, you know, like off the court, right? LeBron has, he has impact, he has like social media following, and do you think the impact off the court is the same as Jordan's?
Definitely not. Obviously, LeBron has more outlets, social media. He's got Twitter, Instagram, all this stuff that Jordan didn't have. But I think in terms of impact off the court, I would 100% give that to Jordan because of the shoe brand alone. Because like Jordan has obviously a lot of players have their own shoes, but Jordan just revolutionized the shoe game. How like when I go to look to buy basketball shoes, I don't look at the first thing I go to isn't LeBron's, it's Jordan's. I think the shoe game alone just is a testament to Jordan's popularity. Although I do think both have had major impacts off the court, Jordan's shoes is just his shoe brand is just amazing.
So, I think, as you said, like Jordan in his career didn't have Instagram, didn't have Twitter, didn't have YouTube, didn't have social media. So there wasn't that outreach that LeBron has in the shoes. And Jordan, the first thing that I think of when you say basketball shoes, I think Jordan. I think, hey, do you want some Jordans for Christmas? Do you want Jordans for your birthday? And this may sound a little off, but I think Space Jam helps Michael Jordan as well because again, he didn't have social media. So how does he reach out and try to get himself out there to maybe some other audiences? Being in a movie.
But LeBron was also in Space Jam as well. You have to go to that and watch. I haven't watched either.
Space Jam 2 was terrible, by the way. So I think that should be taken into consideration. That should be taken into consideration.
Okay.
No, it shouldn't be.
Yes,
it doesn't matter how good the movie was. They were both in a movie.
Yeah.
One of them was significantly better than the other.
It doesn't matter.
LeBron has his own movie studio. Like, that was his movie. Like,
look, the plot, LeBron's movie doesn't make him worse because the plot was bad. I agree, the movie's not good at all. And Jordan's was a lot better. But it's not the players to decide the plot of the movie.
What do you think about their demeanor, right? Because like some former players say people, they were scared to play Jordan, right? And some players I'm not scared to play LeBron, right? And I feel like LeBron has had his times where he can be scary, play against. Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals, wasn't it? Yeah. But Jordan, people said, I'm scared to play Jordan, right? What do you? This is for Miles first. What do you think about how they carried themselves on the court, right?
I think Michael Jordan takes that because Michael Jordan hated everybody. Michael Jordan hated everybody. Michael Jordan was feared, not only by his opponents, but by his teammates. And that's not a place. Michael Jordan is a nice guy. But when you're feared by your own teammates, because I think he was feared by his own teammates because of how good he was and how much better he was than everybody else. And so when you had to go guard Jordan, his defender was legitimately scared to go do it, and I don't know if LeBron ever reached the point to where he hated his teammates, and he was just feared across the league by his own team and by the opposition as much as Jordan was.
Evan?
Well, first of all, I think there's a group of players that like a group of some of the greatest players of all time that everybody fears when they play them. Jordan, LeBron, Shaq, Kobe, those kind of guys. I think everybody feared them. Like, and also about the teammate thing, I think LeBron was also feared by his teammates, but in a different way. Because, yes, Jordan was feared because of how good he was and all that, but we have had fans in arenas legitimately chanting, LeBron's gonna trade you. I think that's a different kind of fear, but I think he was also feared.
Well, if you suck, why wouldn't LeBron want to trade you? He's the GM.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying.
He's the GM.
I think both of those guys were. I think everybody, all their teammates, strive to earn their approval. Jordan's approval, LeBron's approval. That's what a lot of their teammates were striving for because they didn't want to get traded by a GM. They didn't want to get punched in the face by Jordan.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Moderator.
What do you think impact? What do you think about impact outside of basketball, right? Because when you have fans that don't follow basketball, right? Or like LeBron James. Today, people would probably say, "Oh, no, I LeBron James," right? But their impact outside basketball, in culture. Who do you what do you think the impacts outside of basketball?
Who's this for?
This is for I'll go to Miles for this one.
So as I said in the one we just talked about, LeBron has had more opportunities, saying he has social media, saying he's grown up or he's played in the era that people have Instagram, that people have Twitter, that people have Snapchat, that people have YouTube. Jordan didn't have that. So all Jordan had was whether you had the Bulls on TV or not. And if you weren't regularly getting the Chicago Bulls on television, you weren't really exposed to Michael Jordan, and there wasn't many chances to see Michael Jordan play and to expose yourself to Jordan as much as there is as you've had opportunity to see LeBron and to be exposed to LeBron James' game.
Evan?
My response to that is that I think you could swap the two players' careers and both would still. I think they're both super well known around not only the United States but around the world. I think you could swap their two careers and they would still be just as known as they are now or as they were at their peak. So yeah, I just think they're both super popular. Their impact off the court is huge. There's nothing more to it.
Yeah. But this next question is for my house. Who do you think is the player that most resembles Michael Jordan? In today's NBA.
Today. Is there one player that resembles him? I don't know if there's one player that I can pick out. I think I can pick out different players and how they play and have a resemblance to how Jordan played. So, somebody's mid-range shot is like Jordan's or somebody's defense is like Jordan's. But I don't think I can pick out a single player that has all the single attributes as Michael Jordan. Yeah.
Because like some people say, oh, DeMar DeRozan. That's what some people say is DeMar.
Like
DeRozan.
I think like the mid-range shot of DeMar DeRozan, yes. Is DeMar as good of a defender as Jordan? Maybe not. So like I think you have to look at everything, not just one thing to compare them.
Yeah.
And then for yeah, Adam, you can go.
I completely agree that there are players around the league now, for both Jordan and LeBron, that share similar attributes, but nobody is like Jordan and nobody is like LeBron. They're both types of players that I think we will never see again.
Yeah, fair. I'll ask Evan this. Who do you think is the more talented player in terms of physical talents, and then also
Sometimes the expectation for a moderator is that they have good Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I
connection.
know.
what is your problem?
Truman, you are about to get fired here. You're about to get fired.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah,
Your
exactly.
Wi-Fi-
And how am I supposed to know that?
Your Wi-Fi is worse than Pete Krejci at point guard.
That's true. That's fair.
Okay, now
Or
carry on.
Jalen Johnson at center.
I think I got most of the question.
But
Who's the better physical
Who do you-
player?
Who do you think is more talented, as a basketball player and then mentally as well?
Well, mentally, Jordan is better because he had that killer instinct and all that. But I think LeBron is more talented at basketball, because I think one thing that I like to point to is that something LeBron do that Jordan can't. I don't think Jordan can just like bulldoze his way to the rim like LeBron can, and I think obviously LeBron is in an era where more threes are shot, but I think either way LeBron is still a better 3-point scorer. Mid-range you could go either way and I wouldn't argue. But basically both inside the 3-point line are phenomenal players. LeBron is great outside the 3-point line. Jordan was pretty good. I think on defense, again, either one can take it. Obviously Jordan has the defensive player of the year, but I think LeBron is more talented defensively because of I think he can guard taller players and bigger players. He can guard positions 1 through 5, while Jordan, I don't think he can.
Miles?
I think, again, I think I agree with everything you said. I think killer instinct, LeBron or Jordan 100%. Mm-hmm. Outside shooting, I'll take LeBron. But everything else, I think Jordan's a better defender. I think when I'm talking about a better defender, I would rather have Michael Jordan. That's no knock on LeBron James. I just think Jordan was an overall better defender than he was. Mid-range shooting, I like Jordan. And inside game, I think I'll take LeBron, but it's pretty close. So I just think it really depends on what you're talking about. I think they're both pretty equal in terms of playing style and physicality, but I just think if you want to nitpick about 3-point shooting or mid-range shooting, they're both they both have their strengths.
Yeah, every player has strengths and weaknesses.
For sure.
Hey Truman, how many questions have you asked?
I don't know, maybe 10, I guess.
We did say we're doing 9.
I mean, I think we're not really splitting this up into segments. I think depending on how many questions are left, we just keep going, and then I think at the end we have a little bit of open discussion.
Truman, how many questions do you have left?
Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, how many questions do you want left?
Let's do 3 more questions, and then we'll do our open discussion.
All right.
Okay. Let's see. Let's pick another one. What? Let's ask Evan this. Would we be having would we be having this conversation if Michael didn't play baseball?
I think any conditions, any time that these players play, there's always going to be this discussion whether. I think Jordan would have won at least one more championship, which would have put him on top. But I think my problem with it is that it is a hypothetical, and I don't like those. But I think any conditions that everyone's having this conversation.
Yeah, Miles.
I agree. I actually think Jordan wins 2 more championships if he doesn't play baseball.
2 more.
Yes, I do think Jordan wins 2 more championships if he, which Jordan in that case is the runaway GOAT, and there is no debate if he wins 2 more. If he wins 1 more championship, I think he widens his GOAT stature. Is that the word to use? But I think Jordan gets at least 1 more championship out of that. But we never know. But we sort of do know. So I just think it's right to assume he wins 1 more title out of that. Yeah.
This question, I got one more. Miles, where should LeBron get a statue?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Great question.
Cleveland, because he's from Ohio.
And also, and also, where should he get his jersey retired?
Okay, statue, Cleveland, because he's from Ohio. He brought that city, which has the shittiest sports teams, including the Browns. It has the shittiest sports luck in the world. And he brought them at their first championship in 54 years, right? And the Miami Heat should never be allowed to give a statue again after what happened to Dwayne.
Yeah, what was that?
Good point.
I'm going to give Cleveland the statue for LeBron, and I think he should have his jersey number. I actually think once LeBron retires, I think the number 23 is going to be universally retired around the NBA.
Really?
Because LeBron and Jordan both wore it. I don't think 6 will be retired. I think 23 will be retired because LeBron and Jordan both won in the number 23.
I think 6 will be retired by the Heat.
6 won't be universally retired, but I think 23 will.
But wasn't 6 retired by Bill Russell?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
6 is already universally retired, but LeBron got an exception.
Yeah. That's all the questions I have.
Okay, so let's have a minute each for just open discussion.
I thought open discussion meant we could just, have a few minutes to just have a conversation.
Okay.
All right.
I have a question for you, Miles.
So, my big stance on this has always been...
First of all, you're just going to ignore what I just said.
What did you say?
I said I have a question for you.
Evan had a question. I know. Evan has questions.
Evan, what's your question, little bro?
First of all, I'm not your little bro. Second,
little bro.
I want to talk about this thing for a few minutes. Do you think LeBron is clutch?
I can't say no to that. I can't say no to that. I cannot say no to that.
Okay, because I've seen so many Jordan fans say, like, LeBron was never clutch.
Evan, is Jordan clutch? Or was Jordan clutch?
100%. No debate at all. Jordan was clutch. He literally has something called the shot in the finals.
Yeah. So, I think I'm going to go on two things here.
It was Christian Laettner, but that's just me.
One, does LeBron have
Christian
a game?
Laettner.
Fuck Christian Laettner. Does LeBron have a game called the flu game, in which he scored 55 points in an NBA Finals game with the flu?
That's a very cherry-picked question.
No, he does not. Jordan.
Hey, Evan, does LeBron have a game where he scored 55 points when he had the flu?
If LeBron has a cough, he starts crying. So
that culture was not made because of LeBron. That was made by the NBA in general. That was made by
Jordan.
If we want to talk about being out for minor reasons, let's talk about Joel Embiid.
Technical foul. He's literally interrupting me. Technical foul.
It's open discussion for a reason.
Listen. Has LeBron ever scored 50 in a finals game?
Yes. Game 1, 2018 against the Warriors. He had 51.
Hey, no research.
I didn't do research.
Okay, so
Miles is.
What?
You literally said you were gonna look it up.
Whatever. Jordan.
So yes, LeBron has had a 50-point finals game.
Jordan has the better game in the finals, and the fact that he did it with the flu just makes it even more impressive. But that's not what I want to talk about. What I'm going to talk about is, my final thing is help. LeBron had more all-star teammates in his career, and that's not debatable.
It's not. That's a fact. But at this,
okay. I just think that weighs too much. That he had more help in his career. Oh my God, Truman, your Wi-Fi sucks more than John Shire and Ryan Day in big games.
Okay, but I want to respond to that, Miles. It is true that LeBron has had more help. And wait, let me cook for a second. It's because he's been a part of multiple organizations. I guarantee you, if LeBron stayed with Cleveland his whole career, he wouldn't have had more help, but that's a hypothetical, and I said I don't like those. I think LeBron only has more all-star teammates because he's been around the league more.
Okay, so my question to you, Evan. The decision. Was that a ring-chasing move? Was that solely based on ring-chasing?
I don't think so, and here's why. I wouldn't argue with you if you said that was a ring-chasing move, but I have two things about this. Like I said earlier in the debate, I think the 7 years that Cleveland did absolutely nothing with LeBron justifies the decision. Second, technically isn't every player ring-chasing. They're trying to get themselves in a better situation. They didn't have the power to do it like LeBron, but every player is trying to get themselves in a situation to win a championship.
Yes.
I had a question for you, but I'm blanking on it now.
Okay, so if that's the case, I think, Mr. Moderator, do you have anything else?
I do not, but...
Oh, I have one thing left.
Okay.
I need to respond to something you said earlier in the debate in one of your rebuttals.
Okay.
The Ray Allen 3. I think, yes, that shot did save the game for Miami. But I don't think that necessarily saved LeBron's career like everyone says it does. It did save the game, it did save the series for the Heat, but there's no shot to make if LeBron hadn't made the play earlier. Because clutch time refers to the last 5 minutes of a game, not the last 10 seconds of a game.
I just think that was a lot of luck for that to happen. A lot of luck. A lot of luck had to happen there. You had to get the rebound. You had to get it back up for a three. You had to make a wild three. So, that's all I have. Evan, do you have anything else?
No.
Mr. Moderator, who
Alright,
clearly
well.
doesn't have any Wi-Fi. Do you have anything else?
Oh gosh, I can't win.
There's no winner or loser of this debate. Unless your name is Truman and you don't have Wi-Fi.
Well, I'm apparently the loser in this debate.
We'll put a poll out on our
On Instagram.
socials for who won.
Yes, I think that's a great idea. I think
Truman, you're not allowed to vote.
conversation-
You're not allowed to vote on the poll.
Okay, all right.
And Truman, I will know. I will
No
know.
one else will vote. Let's just be clear. I'm the only one that does vote anyway. So.
Oh, trust me, I'll make stuff happen.
All right.
I'll make 30 Instagram accounts and vote for myself.
I
Okay,
will-
okay.
I will use my sports account and my mom's account because my mom does follow the channel.
Okay, Miles.
Very nice. Very
Nepotism. Alright, I have nothing else and I gotta get going.
nice.
So.
Alright.
What was
thank
that?
you for
I didn't hear you over the bad
listening
Wi-Fi.
to thank you for listening to the Sports Circuit podcast.
Thank you for listening to
subscribe.
me destroy Miles in this debate, but
We
we'll keep
will
that to
have
you
a
guys.
Poll in the comments below. See who won. But thank you so much for watching. And what's the tagline?
And Truman, before you go, please check your texts.
Oh my, you cheating bastard.
No.
Miles, I texted you right before we started and you never responded.
Oh my god! Get out of here! That's so bad. Oh my god, that's horrible.
Wait, I'm actually gonna do this real quick.
What are you doing?
You're a horrible person, Miles.
What is he doing?
This is what I sent him. For the record.
No.
Okay. Miles, just so you know,
That's enough. Shoot me now.
Miles, just so you know, I have many opportunities on our recording podcast episodes for me to take
Yes,
screenshots
I
and send to
will.
you.
Thank you, Evan. That is your job, Evan.
All right.
Alright.
Well, thank you for listening to this GOAT debate. I think this was episode 9, but we'll probably we'll record again soon. Hopefully, at least.
Yes. We're gonna have a birthday episode for me next week, so.
Yeah, which
In which we will force Evan to sing happy birthday really awkwardly
oh
to me.
no.
Yes. Stay tuned for that episode.
You know that's going on a short too.
Okay, so I'm Miles, that's Evan, and that's our moderator Truman.
Who will be back at some point.
Yes.
All right.
Only if I'm invited back.
Get better Wi-Fi. You'll be invited.
Oh my god.
All right.
All right.